Today we are going to be doing a review of the application as always, since in the survey that I did on the channel, many of you answered me that what you were most interested in seeing here on the channel together was the topic of GoMining, everything about the app, what they put in the questionnaire. I don't know if I also posted news about blockchain or other related topics. And well, I mostly won GoMining, all about the app. That's why I want to show you as much as possible each corner of the app, how to make the most of mining strategies, especially what strategy I am using and how I propose it, so that you can also, based on my experience, draw your own conclusions and decide with more information, with more knowledge of what is being done. And I tell you, I'm going to do a year very soon with GoMining, my first year investing already, and the truth is that I'm having a very good experience, very good results. That's why I tell you that it can help you a lot to listen to this type of testimonies. Since, for example, when I joined, I didn't have any kind of testimony or anything to hold on to, a guide to move forward in GoMining. And I discovered it by myself. And that's why I want to save you that work. I would have liked it a lot if you had given me these little tips or tips on how the app works. So without further ado, let's put it here and let's see together what news there is, and I'll tell you how I'm managing my strategy and my miners right now. Let's go. Well, we're already here for the app, so without further ado, let's comment on all the news. The last thing that is happening around here, that we are doing, and nothing that is. Right now it is June 4 when I am recording this. As I have told you before in the intro, I am very close to doing a year in GoMining. In fact, we are going to see it together because here you can see just when I started. Here we go to my miners. No, that's where the transactions are. Well, no. Yes, we can see it where the miners are. And here we have the history. I don't know if you knew it. When I entered, I didn't know it, but I discovered it, and here you can see all our history of miners, both improvements, purchases, etc. And I think it's very interesting to be able to take a look at it, since here you can see quite well an example of a real farm, how it is growing, the speed it has, the rate that I am putting in with my capital and my income level. And what I wanted to show you is the beginning of everything. We are going to go to the oldest records. And you can see a lot of operations here that says canceled. This is simply because many times to test how much it is worth, or the different payment methods, you have to start with the payment process of a miner, as if you were really going to buy it. Therefore, I imagine that I want to consult how much it costs me. Make an improvement, because at the beginning, obviously, I was looking for much more that suits me, much more attentive, learning the differences between improving the improve efficiency, and such. And that's why you see when you enter, and you don't finish the purchase, it comes out here as canceled. And here we can see the first upgrade I did, which was on June 18th, from 2 to 3 TH. But of course, this is not the first purchase I made, so we do have to go to the wallet. Let's go there. We are already here. Here you see my balance right now. I am now reinvesting in GoMining token because I basically want to increase my maintenance discount. Look, let's take a look. Right now I have it at 5.6%, and the discount for having tokens in the account, in the wallet or blocked also counts. I have it now at 2%. Here you see it, 2% of 20% maximum. Well, what happens? That I seek to have that balance between the that is, the power of my miners, and also have that fund available of GoMining token, not only to be able to pay maintenance, but to be able to get that discount that they offer us, which is up to 20%. And you can see this as another investment within the investment. Since imagine that you reach that 20% discount, thanks to having tokens there, you are already earning an extra 20% if you understand what I am referring to, and even so. Moreover, you can block these tokens, so you would receive an additional return percentage, which is brutal. I don't have anything blocked right now. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. But of course, I also want to make a video to show you how it is done step by step. And I have not found the time yet, but I am sure that very soon I will be able to do it. I will be able to share it here with all of you. And you will see that it is really very simple. I have colleagues that have already done it, and well, quite a few miners are doing it, and it really is worth it because it is that. It not only gives you that return for blocking the tokens, but it also gives you that utility that is to increase your maintenance discount. And as you can see now, to reach the maximum possible discount, I would have to cover 378 days of maintenance, which is equivalent to about $600 with mining. Well, this right now is a little less than $800, and it is a figure that can be achieved over time. Also, even faster if we use the reinvestment in GoMining, which is what I have active right now. And well, it is also very close to giving us the rewards of the end of the era. That is, the bounty program, where we receive additional rewards for participating in the Telegram groups, for doing tasks such as advertising on Twitter or Reddit, or getting referrals. All this gives you points in the bounty program. And just recently the season ended, which covers a year more or less of this program, and a great reward is distributed proportional to the points that you have achieved throughout this period, which is more or less a year, as I tell you, and well, I'm going to get a good pinch. In fact, let's see it here in Promo's bounty program. We go to the table and we put Season 4, which is the one that has just finished. We put here all weeks to see the total of all the time, and you see that at this time, there is a special fund of 1,000,000 tokens to see if it looks out there. We have this special fund that is distributed because they have told us by the groups and such that from June 6, that is, the day after tomorrow, they will start distributing it. We do not know if it will take a long time, that is, if they are going to distribute everything on that day, or if we will have to wait a week at most maybe. But hey, here you see that I completed 269 tasks that have generated a total of 700 points, and this gives me a reward of 440 GoMining tokens. That is, about $191. Well, you see that this is a good pinch, and that it will really help me to be able to reach that maintenance discount that I am looking for now. You will see, I have dedicated myself to raising my TH mining levels, but now I'm at a point where I'm trying to reach that balance between not only increasing my power in TH, but also being able to have maximum maintenance discount, being able to have those tokens there both blocked and available in my virtual wallet, to have that extra liquidity, because you already know that these surprise collections usually come out like the one in San Valentin, for example, that have a price below the market when they come out, and it is important to have a little bit of liquidity there, in case you want to buy a miner or a special collection, a sticker like the one from Las Vegas that we saw a little while ago. And of course, I think it is a very good strategy to consider that, not only to invest in mining power, but to have this discount activated because, as I already told you, it is no longer simply that you have that liquidity there, but also you can block the tokens that will also count for your maintenance discount. And additionally, you will receive rewards for having them blocked. So it seems to me a very attractive option. And that's what I'm working on now. Let's see now the wallet, and I'll show you the exact day I started with GoMining. We can go here to transactions, and we filter it by GoMining. And we are going to put outgoing, which is what we have spent. For example, miner purchase is a bit far, but well, I think it's this one. And we're also going to put the improvements, so more things appear. Let's see what comes out. And we're going to go the beginning of everything. Here I don't know why nothing comes out. June 16, 2024 is when I start, because you see that you can't choose a date later, but I already tell you that what I wanted to show you is not coming out here, which is basically my first mining purchase. And from what I see, it doesn't look like it's going to come out here, but we're going to keep looking for it. We're not going to give up, I mean. Let's see the history that we had here. Oh look, I had it here, and I hadn't even noticed. On the one hand, we have the history of improvements, and on the other hand, we have the history of purchases. So let's give it here. And we're going to get all the miners we've bought. And here we get our first miner, the famous the mine box. Here it says 22nd, but because it's the power it has now. Actually, when I bought second. And it wasn't at 15W, it was at 20W, but it's for you to know what was the NFT that you bought here. You can see all the miners that we bought in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It makes sense. I bought 6 and these 2 that you see here. The Stay Free and the Christmas one, I won them in contests or promotions, so I know the numbers, and well, you can see at a glance the initial investment that I made. Here are the 50 USDT. The transaction comes out as a success. Here you can see it. And look, that is on June 16, 2024, in plan in 2 weeks at least. I will already do my first year in GoMining. Because I will make a special video also talking about of my experience since I turned 1 year old. But basically, I can already tell you everything I have lived in GoMining in this first year. And here you see the proof of the day. I started one day at 2:00 in the morning, so you can see that this type of thing sometimes comes at the most unexpected time. And here we have a link that is going to show us. Let me show it to you. Okay, there we open the link, and basically, I'm going to start a session in Binance to check the payment we made. We continue here. Next, I'm going to type. This is already cutting-edge technology of the future. I give it yes. You are seeing there. Perfect, okay. And here you see the transaction history. I mean, nothing is erased here. There are all the proofs of what has happened. There I just got the notification of the new login in Binance, keeping the security at maximum. I had a script there in Binance dead laughing, so to speak, without doing anything, and that's when I found the GoMining ad and I said, I don't know if I had $70 or $50 as you can see there, and I said, hey, well, let's try with this Bitcoin mining, right? In the cloud. And that's how my adventure in GoMining began, with those first 2 TH. Here you can see from June 16, 2024. A pay of 52.77, very interesting, and that we can close, and I find it very curious and very interesting to be able to take a look at that, to also be able to have a record of our investment of how much we have spent if we do a quick calculation like this. That is, assuming that in dollars it is half what I have mining is a little less, because it would be 50 here, 40, 60, and they are $150 from here, we can say 90, very high, 240. 75, let's put 60, and we have $300 left. You see that about 300 and a few dollars has been what I have invested in different miners. That is, in buying these 6 miners. Now I have spent about $300. It will go up or down a bit, but for you to get an idea, that is the figure. And on the other hand, there is the amount that I have been able to spend on improvements. That here you can see, for example, the last thing I upgraded was this little whale to get the Vega sticker, and I only spent 15 gold mining, because I already told you that with the reinvestment you can have decimal numbers here in the TH. And simply, once you want to upgrade to the next TH, it's not going to charge you a whole TH, of course. It's going to charge you the remaining part between one and the other. And here you see that I made this efficiency upgrade. Here too, taking advantage of some good prices, and very interesting all the history of improvements. We are going to go to the beginning. And this is what we have seen before, that I made a first improvement there of a TH, and quite brutal. That is, 80 GoMining for a TH seems to me quite too much, of course. This makes sense to think. In fact, we can see it together. We are going to see what was the price of GoMining token on June 18, 2024. Why is that? Right now, 80 mining. Almost $40, But if we go to the charts from a year ago, I imagine that we are going to see a much lower token price, and that would explain why only raising a TH has cost us 80 GoMining token, when normally it usually costs around 50 or 60. We are going to see it in TradingView, and without further ado, we are going to see GoMining. And which one did we say was the date? June 18th. We are going to make a time travel to 2024, and we are going to look around. There are no records. Let's see if we have a chart that pulls us back more. GoMining dollar, this can be worth it. Let's see, 17 more or less. Well, there we have it. It was worth 0.30, which is literally. There I do know the numbers. If we multiply these 80, yep, and 81 GM x 0. GM is about $24, and there, you see that it is already a much more normal number than we are used to when it comes to improving our TH or efficiency. It is what a TH usually costs right now. About $25 in the case of 20W. If you want a lower energy efficiency, that is, the 15W1, the price goes up to $30 per TH. And well, here you see that in my history of improvements, as I tell you, many canceled because they were tests to say, wow, how much I would like to improve this, how much it is more profitable for me to improve this or improve the other. And here you see what a real test and error of a mining farm looks like. As we were improving efficiency already at the end of the year, in November, and wow, here you have a very good way to track your investment because you can control both what you have spent on buying miners and on the improvements, either in power or efficiency. And I think that in the future it would be very interesting, well, or if you are not already doing it, but add all the income that we have made in the application, of course. We would have to weigh the prices, because as you have already seen, the price of the GoMining token varies, and here it is not put in GoMining token. It would be cool to see it in dollars with respect to the date of that day, but of course, that is a little more complicated. Although it could be done, that's why I tell you that for the future. Yes, for example, I say September 14-9, the token was worth 0.4. So I calculate how many dollars would be this amount of gold mining, and I say, okay, well, that I have spent in dollars, and do it like this with all these that have been successful. Say, well, in a year I spent on improvements, I don't know, $500 or $1, $0, and we add it to these $300 that we have said before that I have spent on miners. And you can already get an idea of the capital that we have put into the project as well, and well, of course. This without counting all the reinvestment that we have been able to do, because you already know that I love take advantage of the reinvestment in TH. Although right now, as I have told you, I am in reinvestment in GoMining token. But if we go here to the dashboard, we can already see the rewards that I have generated. That is, if calculating very roughly, we can say that I have invested about $1, $0 in GoMining. Maybe a little more, $1, $200. Well, we see that simply in a year I have already achieved some rewards of $760. At the current Bitcoin price, the reward I have generated is this 0.007 Bitcoin, and you see that it is not going badly because, as I already told you, I have been less than a year, and I would have already recovered more than half of the capital that I have invested. This is also due, as I have told you, to using reinvestment, since I generate greater rewards every day, and here I can show you. If we put I'm going to show you how I've been increasing my computing power in this first year. I'm going to show you how I've been increasing my computing power in this first year. I'm going to show you how I've been increasing my computing power in this first year, little by little, thanks to the reinvestment mode. And I think they are very brutal results, because I have already generated all these rewards that most of them I have not withdrawn, but I have reinvested it in the project. And that is why it is generating such good results for me now. That is why my intention now is to accumulate more with mining token, increase my discount to continue generating those rewards. but in a way, so to speak, more sustainable and more balanced, since maintenance costs are something that must be very present in any type of crypto mining, and that in Go mining it is not different. We also have to pay our electricity and our maintenance, and for that reason, since they are offering us the opportunity to do it in such a brutal way, which is with the Go mining tokens that discount offers us, also the bonuses for blocking, you can earn that extra every month. Well, you can see that you really earn money here, which is very related to the price of Bitcoin. And when I entered, Bitcoin was not so high, miners did not cost me so much money, and of course their ROI was not so high either. But now that Bitcoin has gone up, the ROI is much higher than my initial investment. That's why you see that in less than a year, I have achieved more than half of my initial investment, which would correspond to a ROI of more than 50%. This is brutal because, as I already told you when I log in, let's see it here in TradingView. Let's see the price of Bitcoin. When I log in, I do mining, which is the same as before. To go to June of last year, and there you see it on the 16th, I think it was. Wow, Bitcoin was at 67K. I mean, it seems impressive to me. I didn't have it at all present, but for you to see when I joined, where was the price of Bitcoin at $66, how it was a few days later, a few weeks later, at $55, and it stayed there until the famous event of November that you can see that made this bull run overwhelming and broke the barrier of the 100K like butter, so that you can see where we are at this moment. I entered here in Go mining and look where we are now. That is, the return is coming out very favorable because, of course, imagine that I entered with Bitcoin at this price. Therefore, they are offering me a return equivalent to a Bitcoin sustained over time at this price. That is, maybe a 30% annual return. What happens is that if I buy at this price and Bitcoin goes up to here, up to 100, then I recover my investment much earlier, and you can see it perfectly reflected here as I have shown you in my total rewards in Bitcoin. So I hope I have illustrated this review of the rewards because it is very important, as in any type of investment, even if it is not so fun, to have those game modes and that brutal aesthetic. It's still an investment, and you have to know how much you're putting in and how much you're taking out to see if it's being profitable or not. Obviously, it's being very profitable, but when you do it, you realize and you can really appreciate the value that this type of investment has. I'm very satisfied. I'm going to keep investing, and as I have told you, now my strategy is to add that balance to my farm, increase my maintenance discount, and you can see that thanks to the bounty program that we are going to receive. I have also now gotten into Mine and Wars. That is, new adventure on the channel. I will upload videos about it because this time I am in a clan that I find very cool in the sense that there are strict rules. There is a minimum of There is a minimum of buying weekly spells. There are some rules to proceed, and having something like that is what I have always looked for in Miner Wars. Because going crazy is not going to give you good results. The safest thing is the opposite, that you end up winning less than in solo mining. And for that we do not want to play Miner Wars. If we play Miner Wars, it is because we want to surpass other miners, be better playing the game, and get more rewards than we would win in solo mining. Because if you don't, you're not going to warm up your head to win less than in solo mining, right? So that, I personally recommend a structured clan that has clear rules and a purpose. If not, I already tell you that only by luck you can touch a block and you can win much more, obviously. But it is not a sustainable way to do it in time, and I have seen the results of this clan. And it is really noticeable to have a method and an action plan, because it is noticeable in the results they are having, and I have not thought about it too much. I want to live it for myself and check that experience. So this week, I will be telling you my results. You already know that in Miner Wars, the results and the rewards are received every Tuesday. I entered yesterday, Tuesday, so until next week I will not receive my rewards for the whole week. So that's all I wanted to tell you today. I hope you found it interesting and that you liked it, especially that it has helped you to understand better how gold mining works, how you can raise your investments. Thank you very much for staying until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and of course leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will be delighted to answer them. So without further ado, a big greeting and see you in the next video, miners. Until next time,